What's up, guys? Good morning and welcome into PuckTime on WagerTalk TV. I am Andrew. I have the Prez and Don Buster with me to break down some great games here on the board. We have Lightning, Bruins, Hurricanes, Stars, and the Devils taking on the Nashville Predators. Best bets at the end of the show. And looking forward to hearing what some of these guys have to say here for the best bets. There are plenty of great options out there for best bet material. Of course, you can find all of our favorite plays over at WagerTalk.com. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive into our very first game. You're going to go to Prez first with the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. Of course, this game taking place at TD Garden, home game here for the Bees. Prez, what do you think about this one?
Andrew, thank you for having me. This is, a rivalry matchup. These two teams have been dueling for years now. And I'm looking to bet against both of them moving forward, frankly. Boston has come out with just an outstanding season, 32-11-9. I think this team is going to regress. I don't think they're as good as their record are. And if you guys have been following me all year in NHL, you know that I think this Tampa Bay team is a shell of themselves. They lack depth. They're old. They're slow. Their goaltending is not what it used to be. And this is a team that, when all said and done, might just be looking for golf courses. I like Boston in this spot, Andrew. I know it's minus 155, minus 160. But I think Boston is a much better team than Tampa Bay. And the bottom line for me is, and this is not some long handicap, anytime Boston loses a game right now, I'm looking to jump back in on them. They lost to Calgary. They came back and beat Vancouver. They lost to Carolina. They came back and beat Ottawa. They lost to Washington 3-0. A really just a humbling loss on home ice. Got shot out, played like crap. Boston is the play tonight. And especially, look, Tampa Bay. They're coming off of a W. So I'm going to go with Boston minus 160. I think they win this game. And I think we start to see Tampa Bay slide out of the playoff picture.
All right, the Prez looking for the Bees to bounce back. You know, it is important to look at teams that have the ability to bounce back right away after a loss, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. That's kind of the story right now for this Bruins team. Buster, what are your thoughts on this one, side or total?
Well, you know what, Andrew? I have to agree with everything Prez said there. I've already gave this play out as a small play because of the line. It's 155, 160. So I gave out a small play on Boston to my clients already. I agree totally with Prez about what Tampa Bay is all about. I think their goaltending still might be all right, but as far as that, they are not the same team. There's no doubt about that. But both these teams are coming into the All-Star break, not playing their best. Boston are 1-2, so are Tampa Bay. Although this is the last road game for Tampa Bay, a fourth road game is the last one. And they have to play Colorado at home on Thursday, so that's never good for them. Really think Boston has the advantage here. And Prez mentioned it at the end there. They were shut out 3-0 by Washington. Looked terrible. Just didn't, it was a really bad game for Boston. And one of my angles I've been playing for decades is a good team that have been shut out, come back and play them the next night. Lawrence went through a few games there, how Boston is very good after they lose, they win the next game. So I agree, this side, and if you just go back, Boston did play them on January 6th, beat them up pretty good, 7-3. Not saying that's going to happen again tonight, but I think Boston gets the win here. Just for anybody wanting to bet the total, as for the total here, twice this year they've already played. Both games have went over. However, both these teams in those games, those totals were sixes. So in other words, at 6.5, you are getting some line value here because, like I say, the last two games, and they both went over, were at 6. Now it's 6.5. Boston has gone under in 6 of their last 7 games. Tampa Bay has gone under in 5 of the last 6 games in Boston. So I kind of lean under. I probably will not play the total. I just wanted to give you guys a little something out there on the total, but give me Boston.
Guys, a lot of focus on the bounce back angle here for this Bruins team, especially with how they play at home. You mentioned it, Buster, and I'm going to lock it in. I'm on the under in this one. Catch 2 unders yesterday from the PuckTime show, and I'll try and keep the under train going here. You mentioned 5 of the last 6 meetings here in Boston going under. Allmark, the projected starter for the Boston Bruins, 4 straight unders for him in his last 4 starts. 6 of his last 8 starts have gone under the total here. This Tampa Bay team, I understand. We have seen some overs with them recently. Kind of a mixed bag of opponents, guys. Some playoff teams, some not so much playoff teams. But in general, with this Bruins team, especially at home, you hear about a lot of teams that play better offensively. Sometimes teams have more over-style games at home. But some teams, like the Bruins, clamp down the most defensively when they play at home. They're over with homes versus road split. It is shocking, actually, how much more of their games are a little bit more lacking defense and a little bit more electric on the road. If you're a fan and you're going to Bruins games at home, you know, you have to be satisfied sometimes with 3-2, 2-1 games here. And this is a veteran team that I think will be able to shut things down. And Tampa Bay, you know, Prez talks about them getting older and not being the same team. I've been preaching that as well. You know, they're still a team that is, you know, on the brink, on the bubble with the playoffs here, and they're getting hot at the right time, I guess. They didn't really need September and October to be a good team, but when it comes down to it, I think they lack depth, and I think that's their problem. Kucherov's having an unbelievable year. I don't think people talk about Kucherov enough compared to guys like McKinnon, Matthews, McDavid. But at the same time, the depth is not there for Tampa Bay like it once was. Buster mentioned that 6.5. I really do like it. You get goalies like Allmark and Vasilevsky. Sign me up for the under 6.5, especially after a shutout loss. I think that some teams, when they get shut out, they want to come back and they just run the score up. You know, we see a huge offensive outburst. For this Bruins team, off a shutout, I believe they're going to try and shut out their opponent. You know, get a lead, protect it. Sit on it. They're not a team that needs to blow a team out. They'll get that lead, and they will protect it. Guys, that's the first game. Plenty more to come here on the show. We have a great deal going right now. Works for Prez, works for Buster, works for myself. You buy 1 day, all access. We'll throw in 2 days for free. So you're pretty much getting a 3-day all access pass for the price of 1. It's our Valentine's Day special. And that will end tomorrow night. So make sure you take advantage if you'd like. You're going to get all the plays, all sports that we release. And we really do appreciate you being here with us right now on PuckTime or afterwards. Please, if you can, like the video and subscribe to our channel right here on YouTube. Show some love to us if you appreciate it. Some of you guys in the comment section were saying, I'm not going to give you a like if you ask for likes. So I don't have to ask for likes if you just give us the likes. So if we get 100 every time, you know, 150, we won't even have to ask anymore. So please, guys, do me a favor, run it up, and hopefully we can keep catching some bets here on PuckTime. Let's go to Buster for his thoughts. Hurricanes, Stars, -120, home favorite for the Dallas Stars. This should be a good one. You know, I feel like this is actually kind of like a rivalry that's weirdly been brewed over the last few years here. These teams just always play tough against each other, Buster. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, you're right, Andrew. It's a good night of hockey tonight, but I firmly believe this will be the best game on the board to watch tonight. That's for sure. Okay, let's talk about this side first, because when we talk about the over, there's some incredible streaks going on. But Carolina have now won 5 of the last 6, and they actually look poised to go on a little run. Dallas has also won 5 of the last 6 games. But Dallas did play on the road to start the All-Star break. They had that 3-game road trip. This will be that first home game. I know they've had some time off the All-Star break, but that's always something that I like, especially when you're getting Carolina. I think it was like plus 105. I'm getting a little plus money with Carolina. Carolina has also won 5 straight road games. And for me, I just look, even watching since the All-Star break, even though they've both been playing some really good hockey, I think Carolina is just a better team. I really like this Carolina club. They were playing like crap during the year. I just think that I could see them going on a big run. Now, this will be the game that we'll see how good Carolina really is, especially being on the road. So I do like Carolina in this one here. As for the total, well, we have talked about this on here for about a month or so. And again, I'm not going to stand in front of any streak like this. It's 16-1 to the over in Dallas. That's something crazy. We talk streaks and stuff. That's more than a streak. That's when something like that happens. 16-1 to the over for Dallas. That's something else. It is at 6.5, and it is at 6.5 under 20 because you believe these two teams might play a playoff type game, and if they do, it should be should be an under, shouldn't it? If they're going to play a playoff type game. I'm still not sure if we're there yet. We're only in February, but there's no way I'm going to stand in front of any streak like that on the under. I'm looking maybe we can get a 6. I don't think so because, like I said, it is 6 under 20. So maybe later on in the day, maybe it gets steamed down to 6. I'm not sure. I do like it over. The last 12 games in Dallas between the clubs, 8 have gone over, and Dallas with that home streak over. I do like it over. I lean over. I might wait to see if I can get a 6, but I really like Carolina in this one.
Looking towards the Carolina side, but man, Buster, that streak is just unbelievable. And I'll tell you what, I've gone against it a couple times. And I'm telling you, I think there was maybe 2 goals going into the third period one time, and there were 5 goals. It's just this streak. It just, you don't want to go against
that
streaks.
Game, Andrew. Yeah.
I think you were on the show, and I was like the only guy on the under, and it looked great for about 45 minutes. But Prez, what do you have in this game, side or total?
Andrew, before we get into that, Mark Werner, one of our most loyal listeners of all time, writes, "Thank you, Prez, for the last month. My account has tripled." Dude,
Great.
That stuff means the world to me. Like, honestly, Mark, obviously you're more happy than I am because your bank account tripled. But when you guys tell us that, I mean, so many people bet my plays. Hundreds of people are betting my plays every month, and I hear from only the people who lost. And most of the time they lost, it's because they had a too bad. Like 10 days ago, I went 2-9 in 11 plays in a 2-day period. Tons of emails to customer service. Then I proceeded to go on an 18-4 run. 0 emails to customer service. So, Mark, that means the world to me that you said that. And let's go, man. I'm not stopping here, brother.
Keep it going.
I'm going to continue to win just like I did last year. So, shout out to you. Thank you. As far as this game goes, Andrew, I got nothing, man. I don't know what to tell you. I hate that it's Dallas's first game back from a road trip. That's keeping me off Dallas. I hate that Carolina won 2 in a row. They're now going on their first game of a road trip. That's keeping me off Carolina. The over is the right call based on the trends that Buster mentioned. But as the season progresses, I think teams like these are going to play tighter defensively. So that's keeping me off the over. I think if that 16-1 streak didn't exist, I would be on the under, but it does. So it's keeping me off of the under.
Me too.
I have nothing on this game, and I'm not going to make it up.
You know what? I love that you said that, Prez. And I actually appreciate it because it's so true. Right. And sometimes it's just something you have to do. Like, I really like the under. And you know what? Some people could say, well, you know what? Still bet the under. But 16-1. That's no 4-1.
Yeah, I'm not walking into that.
That's 16-1, right? That's a lot. So guys, what I've chosen to do in this game is actually 2 things: prop play and a first period play. I like Carolina in the first period. I like their form they're in right now. I like how they're playing. I feel like they'll start their road trip off on a great note. They are getting Dallas first game back. And let's take a look at this. When we talk about the 16-1 run to the over, every one of those overs isn't Dallas winning, right? Just because their games are going over more at home, it doesn't mean that it's always them doing the scoring. It still needs the opponent to score some goals as well, right? It takes two to tango with an over. In order to get over the total, you usually need both teams to contribute. So Carolina, to me, in good form right now. And we don't want to talk about a team with depth. They have depth, right? They might not have several superstars, but they've got a lot of players that'll make plays every single game. And one guy here, Seth Jarvis, I can't believe that I'm getting a minus 115 price for him to record a point when he has gotten one in 8 of his last 10 games here. He's on the second line for the Hurricanes. He gets power play time, a pretty good matchup against the Dallas team that does give up a decent amount of shots, and yet they're still giving us a minus 115. And the reason being is because you look across certain rosters, look across this Dallas team, you've got Robertson, you've got Hintz, you've got certain guys like that. Their point prop is going to be like 170, 180, 190. But because of how, diversified this Carolina team is with their scoring, and it's not the same guys every night, we get great prop prices. So minus 115 for Seth Jarvis to get a point, I believe is great. 8 of his last 10 games, doing well on the road. But I do kind of like this Carolina first period play as well, and you're getting a pretty good price on it. So that's kind of where I'll lean, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this streak, guys, if the streak will stay alive. Let's keep going to our last game we're going to discuss. We have the Devils and the Predators. Prez, I was happy to hear yesterday that you were on the same page as myself, that you think this Devils team is a bye team. Even though it's a back-to-back, are they still a bye team? For me, kind of when I label a team a bye team, I'm either betting on them or I'm not. Do you agree with that, or does the back-to-back angle impact how you feel tonight?
Well, the back-to-back in this situation does not impact. Firstly, they're all coming off of a week rest not too long ago.
Right.
Secondly, this New Jersey team is super young with healthy legs. They also have a lot of injured players back who missed a substantial amount of time. And, I was mad at myself. I didn't release New Jersey to my clients yesterday. I have a lot of respect for some of the handicappers, for every handicapper on our website. I mean, Jesus, it's not easy to be on WagerTalk. And some guys were on Seattle, and it kept me off New Jersey. And I was kicking myself, Andrew, absolutely kicking myself all night over it. Anyway, I like the Devils again here tonight. I told you guys yesterday this Devils team is about to go on a run. And the key to winning is to try to be ahead of these runs. It's so easy to say this team has won 12 games in a row and they're playing a team that's lost 8 games in a row. So therefore, I'm taking the team that's won 12 games in a row at minus 340. Easy handicap. You'll get killed doing that, but it's an easy handicap. Writes itself. Bottom line here is I'm looking now as we move into the second half of the season. I'm looking holistically. What teams do I want to fade? What teams do I want to bet on? So bottom line, Andrew, I want to fade Tampa Bay. I want to fade Nashville. I want to be betting on teams like Detroit, teams like New Jersey. I want to fade Calgary. I faded them last night. Here's a Flames team that's going to have a fire sale in the next few weeks. So I'm looking at, I want to fade St. Louis. I want to fade, teams that have played better than where they are in the standings. I want to fade Montreal. I want to fade Washington. I want to fade Pittsburgh. So here we're in a situation where I want to bet on New Jersey conceptually, and I want to bet against Nashville conceptually. Well, they're playing against each other. I'm taking the Devils.
I agree. It's important to find that the buy and sell list. I'll be back with the buy and sell segment next Monday. But, when I look at these streaks, and that's how I feel about the props as well, actually, is that you don't want to just jump in when a guy has gotten a goal in, 8 of his last 10 games, because chances are you might have missed the boat. And Buster, I know that for yourself, you're an eye test guy. You watch a lot of hockey just like we do, but you also pay attention to the streaks. What do you think about these two teams moving forward, and what do you think tonight?
Well, I agree with Prez on New Jersey's a team that I will be playing moving forward. I do not agree. I think Nashville will be a team that will be fighting for a playoff spot up there because you have Soros. When you have him, and they've been playing pretty good hockey. As far as this game goes, I actually like Nashville here, and I'll give you some reasons why. New Jersey played, as Prez mentioned, played last night, beat Seattle 3-1, but now, less than 24 hours, back-to-back, they play Nashville. And Lawrence said, it doesn't really, for these guys that just had that all-star break, doesn't maybe really matter on that back-to-back, although they have to travel, It's not a home back-to-back, so they're traveling. And here's the thing. Nashville, for whatever reason, have dominated this New Jersey club. They've won 8 straight games right now against New Jersey. And this line actually opened at 120 for Nashville. And the market has betted up to 140, 145. So I'm not really a guy that always follows the market. Actually, I'm more of a contrarian player a lot of times. But in this case, I can see why they're doing this, so why that line has gone up. Because not only is New Jersey playing back-to-back, it's their 3rd game in 4 nights. And if you go look at their schedule, since the All-Star break, this is going to be their 5th game. So from Tuesday to Tuesday, they've played 5 games. That's a little crazy, right? And now, Nashville, this is only going to be their 2nd game. So situational for me, even though I do like New Jersey as a team moving forward, I think this is just a brutal spot for them tonight, especially off a tough win against a Seattle club that always plays people tough, right? So I think there's a massive edge for Nashville in this one, and the market's showing that right now.
Buster, sorry.
Sure, Prez, go ahead.
I forgot that you give out both sides and totals on every play.
No, I don't give out. What I do, Prez, I try to I won't give out, but I'll give people stats so people have something that they can think about if they're betting the total. That's all. I don't give out.
Listen,
I just like to give them information.
We'll get back. I just wanted to say I thought that was a great handicap. I'm not betting this game, Andrew. Like, for you guys chose these 3 games for us to talk about. I have no idea why this game is on the list. Like, who gives a shit? We have Edmonton and Detroit playing. We have Seattle Islanders play. I mean, there's just so many better games to talk about. But with that said, great handicap, Don. And really, thank God I didn't release New Jersey to my clients, because screw what I said. I'm buying what you're selling.
You know what? We'll let Buster wrap up in a second. That's how I feel sometimes when I go last, Prez. When I throw to somebody else, throw to Buster, he does his full breakdown, and then if I'm on the other side, it's like, well, damn, he just broke down this whole game. But go ahead, Buster, on the total real quick.
1 sec. Chris Allen, can you kick this idiot out of the chat room, please? Carmine.
I know where that's.
You just kick that idiot out of the chat room. Freaking.
Who is this Carm guy that took the day off and he's watching the show live?
He opts in. He doesn't shut up. Blah, 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 blah in the chat room the whole entire time. Get on the show if you have something to say. Kick him out, Prez.
Well, Prez, for me, that's just a regular Tuesday. So yeah, I'm used to that. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'll be quick with the total. But like I say, Prez, the reason I do this is because I'm just trying to give people information, and then they're making their own bets. But I just think I try to help everybody, whether I like that side or total. I just try to put that stuff out. I've always done that for the 5 years you guys have had me on here, and I'll continue to do that. So let's go to the total here. We believe, the situation here, 5 games in a week for New Jersey, geez, might be tough for them to play some defense here. even though these teams, they have Soros can shut you down. Last 5 of the 6 between these clubs have gone over. And the thing here, again, I talked earlier, there's line value again here. The line's at 6.5. These teams, their last 10 games, just go back to the last 10 games. I know they're different teams and all, but the total has never seen a 6.5. There's been 5.5s and 6s. So again, if you like to bet the unders, there's some line value here in this one. For me, though, I'm going to stick with the market, and I'm going to play Nashville, and I will pass the total. Good luck if anybody's playing the total.
Guys, yesterday I mentioned that in order for the Devils to have success, in the push here for the playoffs, I think that success comes with defensive hockey. And I was happy to see that yesterday, cash my best bet on the show. But today I will go against that excellent fade spot, as Carmine mentioned there in the live chat. Thanks a lot, Carm, for mentioning how bad they've been in back-to-backs. But I think that the defensive game they played yesterday allowed for it to, not really be a back and forth type of game. They shut down the neutral zone. They made things very, very difficult. And this is a Nashville Predators team, guys, that I get it. Like sometimes I describe them as the New York Islanders of the Western Conference, because they're kind of that team that you never think are going to kind of blow your mind, but then they'll just go ahead and win a game, by scoring 3 goals because they just shut things down. They have a good goalie. But if you take a look at some of their stats, you've got Philip Forsberg, 53 points, Yossi 44 points, Ryan O'Reilly 44, Gustav Nyquist with 40 points. After that, the next highest point total on that team is 25. There is a massive, massive, massive drop-off, whether it's goals or points on this team. If you shut down Ryan O'Reilly, if you shut down Philip Forsberg, and you don't let Roman Yossi make plays, good luck finding out. I mean, I think the average hockey fan might not be able to name many third or fourth liners on that team. And it's because they don't do much. I think that if you like the Predators, a lot of times you actually should be playing goal scoring props on a couple of these guys, because I do think that Nashville is a really top heavy team. When I look across New Jersey, I can see multiple guys scoring, but of course they want Toffoli, they want Heischer, they want Hughes, but I do think the depth is a little bit more in their favor. So, when you say you're going to bet on a team and you're buying a team, you got to put your money where your mouth is. So yesterday I had the under. Today I'm going to rock with the road dogs. So I will go with the Devils here, plus 105 on the money line. It's going to be a good game, though. I don't think it's going to be, multi-goal lead for either team in this contest. Guys, chat room is bumping. Yesterday, all kinds of comments on the show. We appreciate all of you. Please hit the like button if you're enjoying things. Also, comment below what you are betting. I'm always curious. I'm sure these guys are curious as well to hear what you have going for your card and what you're betting. So we definitely want to know. Let's let's go around the horn. We'll start things off with Buster. What he has going on tonight at WagerTalk.com and your best bet, buddy.
Thank you, Andrew. As you had already mentioned, we have that sweetheart deal going. Buy one all-day access pass and get 2 free days. Great deal, only $39, and it's good till tomorrow night. So go over to the site and grab that. As for our show play for today, we're going to take the over in the St. Louis-Toronto game, and it's minus 105. It's trending a little under. 5 straight overs between these clubs, and the Leafs to me seem to be playing a little bit more offensively since the All-Star break. They did play a couple overs with Dallas and Ottawa, and that Islander game, geez, they had a hell of a time trying to score, but that game should have went over as well. So I like that. 3rd game in 4 nights for the Blues. Not expecting too much defense here. So I like St. Louis, Toronto over 6.5 for our show play. And as always, best of luck with everyone's plays tonight, whether it's NHL, basketball, whatever. And from beautiful Mexico, have a great day.
Oh, I love that every week because I can tell you're gonna have a great day, Buster. That's why I know. You can see the smile on your face.
It's Carnival here. It's Carnival. There's gonna be a massive parade and everything. So about half hour from now, when I get all fixed up here, we're going for a little fiesta. It's actually, if I believe right, it's Ash Tuesday in the States with the Mardi Gras and all that. So there's gonna be some people partying today. They closed down most of our town and the towns around us for the day. Like you can't really get to a bank or any restaurants for the most part, except for the ones that are having all the parties right on the parade route. So yeah, looking forward. It's gonna be a great day. We've got some friends down from Canada, so yeah, it's always a great day, but it's gonna be a little added extra for today.
Look, cash some tickets, Buster, and remember, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So you better crack one soon enough. Prez, what do you have going on tonight?
Just one more little comment, Andrew. When you get to be my age, you'll realize day drinking is where it's at.
Oh, for sure. I like it now way better, but mostly in the summer. I can't justify that in the winter. Prez, over to you.
Okay, so I got nothing to add about drinking. I have not been drunk in decades, and I can't stand the devil's juice. So, firstly, I love Buster's over in St. Louis and Toronto. I couldn't agree more. I obviously woke up later than Buster because my show best bet was Toronto and St. Louis over, but who wants to go through the same bet twice? So we move on. I like Edmonton and Detroit over. Edmonton, I think they're like 1-12 to the under. 12-1 to the under, I think, in their last 13 games. I know they're 9-1 to the under in their last 10. Outstanding defense throughout that winning streak. I mean, this is a team that allowed one goal, many games in a row. They went through a 4-game stretch where they allowed 3 goals over 4 games. Why do I like the over here? Detroit is a team that is almost impossible to shut down. This team scores 2 or more goals almost every single game. They just put up a 4 spot on the number 1 defensive team in the league, the Vancouver Canucks. They just put a 5 spot on one of the top defensive units in the entire league in the Vegas Golden Knights. They just put a 4 spot up on Dallas. They put a 4 spot up on the Leafs. Many teams can do that. And a 5 spot up on a top 5 defensive unit in the LA Kings. This Detroit offense is impossible to stop. They are young. They are fast. They create space. They have depth everywhere. And what do we know about Edmonton? If they were racing Usain Bolt, they'd figure out a way to keep it close. This Edmonton team scores and scores a lot. Even throughout that run of 10 unders or so in a row, they were still able to put up 4 almost every night. Those unders were 4-1 games, 5-1 games. It wasn't 2-1 games. Edmonton can score. Detroit can score. I don't believe in either of their goaltenders. Not only am I going to take this game over, but I'm going to add it to my clients as a 2% play. Take the over. Andrew, I must run. I got to tape the penalty box segment. I got WagerTalk today coming up. Buster, it is always a pleasure doing a show with you. And
you as well, Prez.
Prez, you must know a guy. You must know a guy that works at WagerTalk to do PuckTime and then record another hockey segment. You must know a guy.
Yeah, I might know a guy.
Yeah.
John Marchese writes the Prez in 60. I thought he wrote the Prez is 60. Not yet. Not yet.
He works out like he's 20, but he has the hair of a 60-year-old.
I did a Mike Mensner type workout yesterday. Chest. Listen to this. Chest workout. I did incline, flat, and flies. 1 set to failure on each. That was it. I was done my workout in 9 minutes.
It's a failure. How you feeling today?
I'm waiting to see. There's a little hurt But the hurt usually is a little bit later in the day. I did biceps as well. I was finished my entire lifting section of my workout in 26 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see what type of gains. But literally, I was doing an hour of chest. Now, yesterday I did 9 minutes. So I'm really hoping that this workout works, because I would love to only lift weights for 9 minutes versus an hour.
Yeah, I mean, you know way more about that stuff than me, but I will say it's a huge misunderstanding that some people have to go to the gym for like 2.5 hours to make some growth. Anyway, good to see you, Prez. Guys,
Later, guys.
For me tonight, I've got a lot of 2% plays going recently, but tonight I do have a big bet going, so you can get that over at WagerTalk.com. But I encourage people, instead of getting that big bet, to just check out that great deal we have. You buy a 1-day all-access pass. We throw in 2 days for free. You're getting 3 days for the price of one. It's $4 more than a 5% play cost to get 3 days. So don't buy the 5%. Get the 3-day pass by only buying 1 day. You can take advantage of that. Get every single play I do release for the next couple days. My best bet, I already mentioned it earlier, New Jersey Devils on the money line. Hate going against that back-to-back trend here, but this is a bet-on team for me. Devils off a masterclass performance last night, both defensively and offensively. And I believe they can keep it going by using their depth against this Nashville team that I believe is very top-heavy and relies a lot on their goaltending. So I'll take a short dog here with the New Jersey Devils for my best bet, but you can grab my favorite play of the day over at WagerTalk.com. Thanks for watching. On behalf of Buster and Prez, I'm Andrew. We'll see you tomorrow here.